Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 411. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is the one simple formula all entrepreneurs can use to make more money. The one simple formula all entrepreneurs can use to make more money. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you know the #1 goal is to make money. But unfortunately, many entrepreneurs are grasping at straws because they don't know how to simply create a process to make money. Now, before we get to today's episode, I just want to share a few things with the BEB family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and my resource links, such as the link to my new book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. 2 platforms I've created to help circulate dollars in the worldwide Black community, BeSmartByBlack.com and HireBlackFreelancers.com, and my new rebranded, rebooted BEBAcademy.com. Go to BEBAcademy.com, get 3 days free access to all the resources and learning materials to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. So let's get ready to dive in with today's content, the one simple formula all entrepreneurs can use to make more money. Now, if you've listened to the show for any period of time, you've probably heard me talk about problem, solution, result. Problem, solution, result. Okay, that is a simple formula. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to dig in a little deeper and go into depth about how this formula can help you make money. Okay, so what I always do if I have a product or a service I'm selling and I use the problem, solution, result formula, what I do is I create a problem, solution, result funnel for all my products and or services. Now, you may be saying to yourself, hey, I don't have a product or service that's solving a problem. So, for example, with my hot sauce, right? That's not really solving a problem. Okay, but what I do is I tap into what my customer, their psyche is. And we're going to talk about tapping into customer psyche and how to create the problem, solution, result formula in a way that's going to make you super successful. And I'm going to give you some real life examples. So in terms of the problem, solution, result formula, problems I can solve. Okay, what problems can you solve? Solutions that you can provide. Now, those solutions you provide are your products or services and the results that I can give. And what do those results mean to my customers? What does it mean? You have to tap into their psyche, and we're going to tap into that today. So problems I can solve, solutions I can provide, which are your products or services, and results that I can give. Remember that problems I can solve, solutions I can provide, and results I can give. And that is the formula. But before we go into the formula itself and break it down, I just want to tell you guys a story about how I learned this. And I learned this, probably 20 plus years ago. And I actually had to learn it or I probably was going to go out of business. And so we all think about when we have a product or service, hey, we're just going to go out there and sell it. But it doesn't necessarily happen like that because there's processes and systems to everything. And if you can create a process or a system that makes sense and you provide a quality product and or service, then you can sell and exponentially grow your business. So I want to talk about the first time that I really understood or noticed what I was doing. So years ago, I used to own an ADT dealership. And if you're familiar with ADT, they are the largest alarm system or security system company out there. And they have corporate stores and they also have dealers or franchises. So I actually was a dealer for ADT. So when I started the business, I pretty much thought I had everything in order because how hard could it be? There's major crimes and home invasions going on in Philadelphia. My office was in West Philly, and there was definitely a lot of crime going on there. So really, I'm going to be selling something that's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. But what happened was totally different than what I expected. And this happens a lot of times with newer or first-time entrepreneurs. Sometimes the things that we think are going to happen aren't going to happen. So literally, if I didn't understand the problem, solution, result formula, I wouldn't have been in business. And so when I started off, the first 6 months of business were very, very hard for me. You know, I wasn't doing a lot of sales, even though I had all of the tools to be successful. I had the office, I had the sales reps, I had the computers, I had the installers, I had the telemarketers. I had everything that I thought was going to be necessary for me to be successful. But it didn't really turn around for me until I started digging into the psyche of my customers. And you're probably saying, Jay, what does psyche have to do with it? But it's part of the problem, solution, result formula. And so what happened is I took a new business and within 2 years became one of the top ADT dealers in the city of Philadelphia. Now, there were tons of ADT dealers all over the place. But because of the way this system worked and how I incorporated it in my business, I was able to change everything around. You know, it's funny because there was a guy that was in the industry and there was a new player that came to the East Coast from the West Coast. And the company was called Protection One. And Protection One came in and they only had a 1 year or 2 year monitoring agreement, meaning you only had to sign up for 1 or 2 years. Normally with ADT and other dealers, it's normally a minimum of a 3-year contract or even a 5-year contract, depending upon what you're selling. And so the big thing was, Protection One is in the area. They're going to kill everybody in the business. Your business is going to be done. We can't compete with them. And you kept hearing all of this nonsense. Now, Protection One, I forgot who was their backer, but they were a very large company out on the West Coast. So any of you guys out there on the West Coast may be familiar with Protection One. And that industry has gone through a whole lot of consolidation. But they were supposed to wipe everybody out. But the way I overcame that and became one of the top dealers in Philly was I used the problem, solution, result formula. And what I did was I retrained my sales reps to focus on what does it mean? What does it mean? That is a key phrase that you need to understand and remember. And I'm going to dig deep into that in a second. Okay. So as opposed to working on or talking about features and benefits of the system, I focused on what does it mean? And so our sales literally tripled within 6 months after changing the focus and the dialogue to meet and address my customers' true concerns and wants. So you may have the formula, but you have to understand the intricacies of the formula that make it work. Problems, solutions, results. So what was the problem in this scenario? People were breaking into homes and home invasions. What was the solution? American Protection Services. That was my ADT dealership name. What's the result? You're going to stop people from breaking into their homes. So this is how this one little sentence is going to change your whole marketing outlook and philosophy. And the question is, or the sentence is, what does that mean? So for example, problem, once again, people are breaking into homes and they're having home invasions in Philadelphia. Solution, American Protection Services, which is my dealership. The result, stop people from breaking into your homes, right? So that's pretty simple. But then you start to ask the question, what does that mean? And you ask that to the customer. You ask it rhetorically, okay? What does that mean from stopping people breaking into your homes? That means that, I can leave the house and know that my home is secured. Okay, great. What does that mean? I know the chances of breaking into my home are much less than other homes that aren't protected. Okay, what does that mean? I don't have to worry about my valuable items being stolen. Great. What does that mean? It means it's going to save me money because I won't have to replace anything, or I'm not going to get my homeowner's insurance increased. Okay? So when you keep asking the question rhetorically to your prospective customer, and what you're really doing is you're getting to the root of what the customer actually wants from you. Okay, so for example, I used to have my sales reps say this in addition to what I just talked about. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, do you have children? Yeah, we got kids. Okay, what does having the security system mean for them? Okay, and then they'll say something like, I know my kids will be protected when I'm at work or out. So really, we're not talking about a security system here, guys. We're talking about peace of mind. So let's show you how we can give you peace of mind with this special package from ADT. So that one sentence itself tripled my sales for my business, and I trained my sales reps to say it. Okay, let me show you how our special package can give you peace of mind that you need. What are we selling? We're not selling security systems. We're selling peace of mind, knowing that their home is secure, knowing that their family is secure if they're out, knowing that their insurance premiums won't go up because their house is broken into. Okay, that one question, what does it mean? And when you start going through the formula, problem, solution, result, what's the result? And then you ask, what does that mean to the customer? And what this does, guys, it enables you to tap into the psyche of your customer or prospective customer. Because once again, customers don't buy features. It's a dual overhead cam engine, blah, blah, blah. They buy benefits. Okay. So the benefit of this system is, in all honesty, it's really going to give you peace of mind. Peace of mind about what? About your protecting your family, protecting your home and your valuables. And that's the question that you have to ask when you do the problem, solution, result. Now, what does that do? It uncovers the true reason why somebody is going to buy your product and or service. So, you can do the problem, solution, result formula. That's great. But if you don't dig down deep and ask, what does that mean? And you keep asking, what does that mean, until you can't answer anymore. And when you write this down, now you have all the bullet points and all the content you need to communicate with that customer. You're communicating with them about things that are important to them. So now what did that do for American Protection Services? So now I'm not just selling a commodity of a security system with, I think in Philly, they had over 200 and something dealers just in ADT, not to mention all your other security system companies out there. So now I'm not just selling a commodity of a security system. I'm selling peace of mind. And I'm doing that by asking the question, what does that mean? So I'm asking them to tell me, what does this really mean to you? Your kids will be safe. I can go on vacation, or we can go on vacation. We don't have to worry about the house being broken into. I don't have to worry about that silverware that my great grandmother gave me being stolen. So you have to get into the psyche of your customer. And I think one of the biggest reasons why people aren't successful, because they're superficial with their marketing. You're superficial about what your benefits are. You need to get your customers or your prospects to tell you, what does that mean? Hey, if I can do this for you, what does that mean for you? Oh, okay. If I can get you this new home, get you approved for this mortgage, what does that mean? Well, I got a new home. No, yeah, it does mean that. But what does that really mean? That means that you can move to a nicer neighborhood with less crime. What does that mean? My family is going to be more safe. What does that mean? We're going to be able to move to a better school district. What does that mean? My kids are going to get a better education. What does that mean? My kids hopefully will go to college or whatever and become very successful. What does that mean? That's the question that you need to answer when you're doing the problem, solution, result formula. And another thing I want to talk about too, and I mentioned this in one of my coaching groups, and I might have mentioned it last week on one of my shows, but the other thing is the language that you use, once again, tapping into the psyche, but the language that you use for one customer is not necessarily the same language that you use for another customer. So for example, if in the alarm business, if I was talking to a young couple that had kids, what I just told you would be a very good conversation or sales pitch. What does that mean, right? You know, your kids are going to be protected. Your homeowner's insurance isn't going to go up because you're not going to get broken into. All right. But what happens if I'm talking to somebody that lives in a $5 million home, right? The conversation is going to be a little bit different. They probably have a gated community, right? They probably have other needs or things that they're concerned with. And I'll use the example again of selling insoles. Right? I used to sell insoles. So bear with me if you've heard this before, because I probably said it on another show, and I also said it to a coaching group, right? So if I sell insoles and I'm selling insoles, the same insole, but I'm selling them to a field hockey player, I'm selling them to a server, somebody that's a waiter or waitress, and I'm selling them to a jogger, the conversation is going to be totally different. I'm selling the same product, right? But what does it mean? Problem, solution, result, right? Problem is your feet hurt. The solution is the J. Jones insoles. The results are, hey, your feet are going to feel better. But what does that mean? And what does it mean for a field hockey player? It's going to be different than what it means for a runner, which is going to be different than what it means to a waiter or waitress. So if I'm a runner, okay, yeah, your feet are going to feel better. But what does that mean to you? Now I can enjoy running in comfort now. Okay, I can run more miles. What does that mean? I can get in better health. What does that mean? I can possibly lose weight. What does that mean? I'll hopefully live longer because I'm in better shape. What does that mean? Now I can spend more time with my family, my friends, and hopefully my grandchildren. That conversation is totally different. If I talk to a waiter or waitress, they're on their feet all day. Their feet hurt. You know, the problem is my feet hurt. The solution is the J. Jones insoles, right? What does that mean? Oh, now you can serve and you won't be in pain. What does that mean? You'll probably have a better smile on your face and be happier when you're dealing with your customers. What does that mean? You'll probably get a better tip. What does that mean? Oh, you'll make more money. What does that mean? That means maybe I can move to a better house. What does that mean? Maybe my kids could go to a better school. What does that mean? You see what I'm saying? Okay. And once again, field hockey player, you're still selling the insoles. Problem is the field hockey player's foot hurt, right? Solution is the J. Jones insoles, okay? All right, what's the result? Oh, my feet feel better. But what does that mean? That means that you can run now, you can score more goals. What does that mean? The team will do better and maybe I'll get a scholarship. What does that mean? Maybe I can go to college without paying, having to pay tuition. What does that mean? Ba-ba. See what I'm saying, guys? You got to really dig in and ask, what does that mean? And when you start uncovering all of these things, these benefits are really what you're uncovering, but you're going deep. Now you can start speaking to that customer specifically. I think sometimes we make entrepreneurship super hard, but sometimes we don't dig deep enough. We have to understand it is a science to this. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're selling something, right? Be it a product and or a service, you're selling something. So there is a science to selling. There's a science to communicating. There's a science to understanding and tapping into your customers or prospective customers' psyche. Okay, problem, solution, result. Pretty simple, right? What's the problem? Problems I can solve, solutions I can provide, and results that I can give. But what do those results mean? And when you do that, you're tapping into your customer. So, for example, when you sell online, you sell on Amazon, right? Or wherever, or your own site, the verbiage of your sales copy is key to you converting sales. So if you're looking at something online, you can't feel it, you can't touch it, you can't taste it, you can't smell it, or whatever. So you have to make people visualize what it's like using your product and or service. Yes, you can have videos and they help, but the verbiage, the communication, the content that you put out is key. So when I talk about my flat irons, right? On my ad copy, imagine your hair blowing in the wind just like you came out of the salon. You're walking to work every morning, your hair looks amazing. You feel better, it makes you feel better, it makes you perform better. So what you have to do in your ad copy, the written word, the visuals, everything, you have to tap into the psyche of your customer. What does that mean? Your hair looks like you just came from the salon. Well, what does that mean? It gives you confidence because you know you look good. What does that confidence give you? What does that mean? You'll perform better at your job. What does that mean? You may get a promotion. But you keep asking, what does that mean? And you take it down to the smallest nuance. Now, are you going to use all of those answers in your ad copy or your communication with your customer? Not necessarily. But what you want to do is dive deep. So problem, solution, result is a great formula on the surface. What really makes you be able to get exponential sales or convert is really digging into the psyche with that one question. What does that mean? Now, you can ask the customer, what does that mean? Or you can go and role play in your own head, right? So, new couples getting a new house. Oh man, I'm a mortgage guy. Congratulations, you got approved for this mortgage, You'll be able to buy this new house. Jay, what does that mean for you and your family? Oh man, we're going to get a new house. No, I mean, I get that. But what does it really mean to you? And then that's when they start revealing what it really means. And you can use what they say to help solidify the sale. Yeah, we're moving out of this neighborhood to a safer neighborhood for our kids. Oh man, I'm glad to hear that. That's a blessing that you're able to do that. And, what does that mean for your kids? How's that going to change your kids' lives? They'll be able to go to better schools. There's not going to be as much, say, violence or turbulence around them. Oh, man, that's great. So, that should probably help them in terms of their grades and, their peer group, whatever it is. And I'm making this up on the fly, as you can see. But digging deep, okay? So we talked about problem, solution, result. We talked about the question, what does that mean? And you keep digging with that. And then you want to talk about why this is important, right? So, and I'm not talking about for the customer, I'm talking about you. It's important because you literally, guys, can change your business by changing the conversations that you have with your customers. And what you're doing is you're separating yourself or your business from your competitors. Most people aren't going to go through and dig that deep. Now, all of those answers when I asked the question, what does that mean? Those are benefits that you can use in your marketing, in your videos, on your landing pages, for your lead magnets or whatever, because you've dug super deep. It's not a superficial answer that, hey, you're getting a security system, I'm going to be safe. We know that. And here's a fun fact, guys, about the alarm business, security system business. So the number one deterrent is not the security system itself. It's actually the yard sign. It's the yard sign. So I had a brother, very ingenious. I noticed that my yard signs in my office were getting low, right? So when this brother couldn't sell a security system, he was selling the yard signs for $10. That's the number one deterrent when it comes to security. So if you have a security system, make sure you have a yard sign out there and window decals. So what happens now? What does a burglar look at? He's walking down the block. He got, out of the 40 houses on this side of the block, 39 got security system signs on in the yard, right? That 40th one doesn't. Where's he going? He's going to that house. All right. So one of my employees, man, I was like, yo, bruh, you need to start selling systems. But I had to laugh at the hustle because this dude was selling like about 10 yard signs a day for $10. So he'd go knocking on doors or whatever he was doing. And he was like, look, and he would tell him it's the truth. The number one deterrent is the yard sign. Okay, when burglars see that, they're going to go to the path of least resistance. Why go here when I know once I break in, the alarm is probably going to go off versus somebody else's house that doesn't have an alarm? And it's funny, yeah, so he was selling them for $10. He was making money too. All right, so that might be a good business hustle for somebody out there. Business opportunity, business ideas. You just selling the yard signs without putting the systems in. But that was that's a fact. And it was a funny story because my man was making a couple dollars on the side with that. I had to shut it down though because I'm like, yo, man, I got a limited amount of signs based on the number of systems I had. But that's really, guys, we're talking about the one simple formula all entrepreneurs can use to make more money. And if the formula is used correctly, okay, you'll be able to make more money. Now, I always tell people when they ask me what business should I start, I said, number one, either solve a problem, which to me is the easiest thing to do, or number two, follow your passion. Pinpoint and monetize your genius. If you want to follow your passion and make money, go to the website, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, go to courses, and it's on the front page, Pinpoint and monetize your genius. Your genius is the intersection of your passion and your talent. The problem is most people don't know how to monetize it. Do something you love, do something you're good at, do something people will pay you for. That's the essence of it. Okay, but if you don't know how to monetize your genius, the simplest form or formula, problem, solution, result. What problem can I solve? What solutions can I provide, which are your products or services, and what result can I bring or give to my customer? Problem, solution, result. Very simple, but the kicker, the exponential growth comes in when you ask that question, what does that mean? Asking it rhetorically or literally asking your customer base. And what you're doing is you're uncovering the real reasons that they need your product or service. And for once I decided or figured that out with my ADT business, my alarm business, what I was selling was peace of mind. I wasn't selling smoke detector, motion sensor, and three door contacts or window contacts. I was selling peace of mind. And what did that peace of mind mean to my customers? And that's really how you dig in. It's all about the psyche, guys. It's about knowing your avatar, knowing who your customer is. And a lot of times I don't think we know who our customer is. So we may have variations or different customer bases, but each of those needs to be communicated in the language that they're going to respond to. Just like I gave you the example, the runner, the field hockey player, and also the waiter or waitress. All of them are selling the insoles to all of them, but the conversation is totally different. What does that mean? Means something different to each one of those people. So I talked about it the other day about being lazy, right? Either you don't know what to do or you're too lazy to do it. That was the episode. And what I talked about was exactly what I'm saying right here about communicating to your specific target market. Okay, I was doing a coaching session the other day and I had to really wean or hone that in to one of the students. And I'm like, yeah, you can sell this to anybody, but you have to be more specific for each type of person or potential customer that you have. So with the insoles, right, it's one product, but it's three different conversations. With the security system, it's one product, but based on who I'm sitting in front of, it might be a different conversation from a single guy versus a husband and wife with young kids. Their needs, they all want peace of mind, but the needs are a little bit different and the conversation has to be aligned. So I always talk about being aligned, product, service, and pricing, whatever. Your product and pricing has to be aligned in your perception. So you need to understand that when everything is aligned, you have a better chance of converting. When it's not aligned, that's when something is off, and that's when your customers are going to find that out or figure that out, will have some trepidation in dealing with you. So what we're talking about today, guys, is the one simple formula all entrepreneurs can use to make more money. And before we get to the last quarter of the show, let me just share my contact information and resource links real quick. All right. I'm going to give you all the resource links I talked about. A New Black Wall Street, my new book, BeSmartByBlack.com, HireBlackFreelancers.com, BEBAcademy.com, BrandBuilderAcademy.com if you're trying to build a brand, are all on the website. Go to BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com, BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com. All the resources are on there. Okay, you can go hit the Learn tab, and you have all different content you can learn. You can hit the courses, and it's going to give you all the online courses. So I'm not going to go keep doing that. I'm trying to funnel y'all to the website because we spend a lot of time, money, and energy in building the website, and we want that to be the resource for Black entrepreneurs. Okay, go to BEB Connect or Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. It's going to take you to the same place. If you want to find out all the resources, hit Learn. You'll also see in terms of courses, or you can hit the About button. It has all my social media contact information on that. BEB Connect for the easy way to get there, or go to BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com. Now, in terms of my social media, right? Anything long, family, hit me on my email, jjones@BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com, JAYJONES at BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com. Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Twitter, jjones001, JAYJONES 001. Instagram, I got 2 IG accounts, guys. The first one is jjones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4 REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have additional content on YouTube that is not out on the podcast. Go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and subscribe. LinkedIn, you can find me, J Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Clubhouse at I am J Jones. And also my companion podcast, Ask J Live. You can go to AskJLive.com. Once again, everything I just told you, family, is on the website. Go to BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com. Shortcut is BEBConnect.com. And make sure you use all the resources. We have free content in addition to the podcast, the 411 episodes. We have additional content, master classes, everything that you want, workshops that you can get that right on the website. If you want to go deeper, go and type in, not type in, but click on Learn. And there's all types of different things you can learn. Strategy and mindset, scaling your business, marketing, e-commerce, all of the resources are sitting right on the website. All right. So make sure you guys go to BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com. Now, before we close it on out, once again, guys, I just want to say that when it comes to making sales, you know what your product or service is. I have no doubt about that. But I think you need to start looking at and making sure you have the systems and the processes in place to continue to grow your business. And that's why I talk about this one simple formula that all entrepreneurs can use to make money. Problem, solution, result. Very simple. But the kicker or the exponential factor or the lever that really moves that is the question, what does that mean? And once you uncover those benefits, and that's really what you're getting down to, you're digging deep for the real benefits and the real reason that your prospective customers and customers want your product or service. Now that you uncovered that, you have to speak to that. And I mentioned on the show a couple weeks ago, take the time to create funnels for each of your products or services, right? So whatever it is, you need to create a funnel, a problem, solution, result funnel, if it makes sense. Now, there's some people that sell things that you're not solving a problem, like my hot sauce, for example. That's not really solving a problem, but I'm playing and speaking to a particular person. My hot sauce is a premium brand hot sauce. Hell yeah, hot sauce. It's not Texas Pete. It's not watered down, the stuff you find in restaurants that you can basically drink with a straw. It's not that. It's premium, gourmet, handcrafted hot sauce. So my pricing is going to be a little higher than the watered down versions out there. So I'm not solving a problem, but I understand who my market is. My market is foodies, people that appreciate good quality foods. It's the same type of people that'll buy a $500 espresso machine. They're not solving a problem, but they're fanatics or they're serious about what they're doing. Just like with my hot sauce. My prices range anywhere from $10 up to $16, $17 based on what flavor you want. And so it's not a hot sauce for somebody that's not a hot sauce connoisseur that's used to going and buying a $2 bottle of hot sauce at Walmart. That's not my customer. All right. So you got to understand your customer. And even if you're not solving a problem, you still got to tap into that psyche. You still got to tap into that psyche. And I'm going to close with this. So it's just like somebody that buys a Rolex, right? A Rolex tells the same time as a Timex, but you're tapping into the psyche. And most times when people buy things like that, it's ego, or it makes them feel good about themselves. So you need to tap into that. And this is for people that don't have a problem, solution, result formula, and you're selling a product or service that's based on want of gain or fear of loss or ego. So tapping into that. A black card, right? So a black card is still a credit card. You got a high limit. You know, the annual cost for a black card is ridiculous. But what is it? It's a status symbol. It's an ego thing. So people go there just like you buy designer clothes, right? You buy these Louboutins, you buy all of this other stuff. Shoes are shoes are shoes, right? Now I know there's quality, involved in shoes, but really you put them on your feet and they protect you when you walk, right? But you want to buy red bottoms because it's an ego, it's a status thing, right? You want to buy a $2 million house, not necessarily because you need the space, but it's an ego or a status thing. You want to buy a Lambo because it's an ego or a status thing. So if you're selling those types of ego or status type products or services, you got to tap into that mentality and what makes your prospective customer or customer tick. And it's all about the psyche. So problem, solution, result, that works. But if you're not solving a problem, then you got to tap into the psyche, not just then, but anytime you got to tap into the psyche of your customer. That's what converts sales. And I think we need to go a little bit deeper and ask, what does that mean, right? So you buying a Lambo, right? You still going to drive from here to there. What does it mean? Oh, man, people going to look at me. What does that mean? People will think I got money. What does that mean? Maybe I can pick up more girls. What does that mean? Ba-ba. So tapping into the psyche and using the question, what does that mean? And keep asking that until you can't answer anymore. Write that down. Whatever the answers are, use those for your communication, for your ad copy, for your videos, any communication you have with your customers or prospective customers. That's the communication you want to focus on. I was selling peace of mind. I wasn't selling motion detectors. I wasn't selling key fobs. I wasn't selling a control panel. I wasn't selling turning your lights off and on and all of that stuff. I was selling peace of mind as an ADT dealer. But that peace of mind looks different for each prospective customer. So remember, dig into and find out the psyche of your customer and then talk to that customer. Once again, don't forget, you may sell one product, but the conversation you have with different customers is going to be different. And you need to tap into that and speak to that. Now, before we close on out, guys, I say this each and every week. We continue to get more and more downloads, and that is because of you, the BEB family. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the blog, the new updated website. I'm telling y'all, make sure you go check it out, blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, and all the ecosystem around it. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us, guys. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.